Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of Riverdale on the CW, which was episode 15 of season 2, There Will Be Blood. And yeah, so another pretty good episode of Riverdale this week. Before we get too far into the review though, I want to show off a poster I just bought of the show. It's on my wall now, so let's bring up this picture real quick. Ignore the kind of mess on my floor there, but yeah, pretty good one. I think I had to get a Riverdale poster at some point, and although I might prefer like the season 1 version of them like sitting in the booth, if you guys know what image I'm talking about, this one's pretty nice too, and it was only it was less than $10 at Walmart, so yeah, I had to grab it at that point. But yeah, so this week's episode of Riverdale, not quite as, I guess controversial as last week's was. A lot of people really hated last week's episode just because of, what went on, Veronica, Jughead, Archie, stuff like that. But I thought it was a lot of fun and definitely engaged me throughout, like the setting and everything. Go back and watch my review of last week's if you want to hear more. But this one is pretty good as well, and it continues to sort of build the main plot of the season, or a couple of the main plots of the season, actually. But especially to me in regards to Hiram. Jughead's just digging deeper and deeper into, a possible plan that Hiram has for the town. We don't really know what it is yet. Or is he just trying to have it completely under his thumb just as a mobster, right? We don't really know. But they try to get Fred Andrews to run for mayor, of course Luke Perry. And this is sort of like another power move because they're having dinner with him at the beginning of the episode, which is nice. But then you think, oh yeah, they want a friend in the office, someone, another Mayor McCoy that they can hold under him perhaps, and sort of try and push out if they absolutely need to down the road. Because yeah, Fred would inevitably disagree with something that Hiram proposes, so it might get kind of controversial at that point. Or difficult, I should say. But of course, Archie still, going back and forth. He's on the fence, and I'm a big fan of Riverdale at this point. But I will say sometimes Archie can be a little bit inconsistently written with how he stands. Because in this episode we see he's trying to get his dad away from anything to do with the lodge as possible, because he doesn't want him in their web of corruptions or just a risk with them. But then the episode basically takes he does a blood bond with Hiram Lodge on a contract. So I don't know. But then Archie's kind of some kind of conscience talk to him again, then he's going to try and, flip on the agreement there. I don't know. I'm also a big fan of Veronica as well. She's my favorite character along with FP. But this week's episode is probably her most questionable, just because of, again, I think people seem to give Veronica a lot of crap, actually, because she wants to think of the best of her father. She wants to be able to love and side with her father, but then she's conflicted by her feelings for Archie and trying to preserve any good in his life and who he is as a person. So I think her struggle is a little bit more understandable than some people make it out to be. I still think either way she's a much better character than Betty, me personally. But this week's episode, I think it really showed that as well. While at the same time, she was trying to push and manipulate Archie into getting Fred to run for mayor as well. But I think she definitely has her line, whereas Hiram, obviously doesn't. And she sort of cracks and ends up, trying to get Archie out of it anyway, and not trying to get him any more involved. So I think people really need to cut Veronica a break, honestly. But so yeah, all that stuff is actually pretty good. We also have Archie actually, again, showing the leap for Archie in this episode. He talks to Jughead, gives him the information that Hiram had bought Pops. But then again, that blood thing at the end with Hiram. What the hell, Archie? What are you doing? Which side are you on here, son? Still, there's something still enduring about Archie, I guess, but still, it's just kind of funny. I think they need to kind of tighten up his thinking a little bit more. But I like the break that Jughead got with that. And he ends up talking to Pop, and Pop doesn't directly say that Hiram owns it, but he basically admits it, without kind of directly saying it. And he did what he had to do, for his business, but at the same time, he doesn't want to dishonor his grandma or his mother or whatever by finding out they sold out in a sense, whether he had to do it or not, because he was always told to keep it in the family, and he promised to. So the guy who plays Pops is a pretty good actor, by the way, I think. And of course, Jughead ends up struggling and decides not to put it in any press release of any kind because of that. He doesn't want to hurt Pops and stuff like that. And he's kind of like this moral, sort of like innocent center of the town that everyone, even Hiram, kind of looks to in a certain way, or at least respects. So that stuff was pretty good as well. I also really like the Cheryl stuff this week. Again, Cheryl and Toni, I think it's really working between them. It feels a lot more natural already than I thought it would. And they had a great scene last week at Pops, by the way. The whole I Love Simon thing, or Love Simon. Of course, Penelope, I hate her more than ever. With the way she stormed in, is just ready to sort of tear down whatever Cheryl and Toni had going on, just like the story Cheryl had shared with Toni last week about the girl she had loved when she was younger, and how her mom treated that. And they go to this thing about, of course, Clifford's will. And, of course, Hal is there because he thinks there, of course, because of the history of the families, there's a little bit of Blossom blood in him, so he wants a big paycheck, basically. We'll talk about the Chic thing in a couple minutes here. But I like how Toni is there for Cheryl, and then we see his twin show up. We never knew he had a twin, but yeah, Cheryl's father had a twin. And he makes a crack about the island he went to, Lesbos or something like that. It was funny seeing Toni and Cheryl's reaction to that, but he appears to be a little more supportive or understanding of Cheryl. I don't know, but at the same time, we have Cheryl overhearing him that he's going to get her under control and stuff like that, so I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But basically, this is kind of just a move to get the actor back on the show, which I kind of understand, but it is a little bit much. He had to have his twin brother show up just to kind of get back that drama. I don't know. But yeah, not bad. I love Cheryl. If you guys haven't, go check out Madeleine Petch's YouTube page, her YouTube channel. She has a lot of fun vlogs every week, so check her out. Complete contrast to the Cheryl character, but she's awesome. And yeah, as far as the Chic stuff, we have Betty being more creeped out by him than ever, as well as Polly when she brings the baby over. The babies, I should say. And yeah, he's just very uncomfortable to be around, and she tries to have Kevin, catfish him or talk to him on camera to try and get him to reveal more information about himself that he won't tell them. It doesn't really work once he sees that he's looking at, Betty, or he doesn't see that's Betty, but I'm sure he suspects it. But he shuts it down when he suspects Kevin is talking to someone else, and Betty ends up getting his DNA, getting it tested, and we're left hanging a little bit. She says, "You're not who you say you are, so who are you?" So most likely, Chic actually isn't Betty's brother. Which I think is fine. A lot of people still think it's Alice and FP's kid, which I guess would be alright. It would make sense, I guess. But I'd feel bad for FP having a kid like that. I don't know. Oh yeah, also really liked FP in this episode as well, being my favorite character other than Veronica. He's got me worried though, because he's he always hears what Jughead's up to. He's always wanting to back his kid for sure. He admires and respects Jughead for what he does, even though it's pretty dangerous. But he agrees to actually tell a story about what Hiram had him and the serpents do, a good number of years ago. He's willing to do that, but then he's also aligning with Jughead and going out there to stand against him and talk against him as well. So I'm kind of worried that's going to put FP in the crosshairs. Now, physically, a fight scene between FP and Hiram would probably be pretty awesome. I think FP could take him. I'm worried that they'll try to, murder FP or something, if they can't get to Jughead. That's something I'm kind of worried about, which I would hate. But I feel like Fred and FP both can't survive the whole show, so I don't know. I'm kind of on the edge about that. Hopefully not, but FP still continues to be one of the most well-rounded and well-developed characters of the whole show, ever since where Season 1 took him. So yeah, I really like this episode, giving it a 9.2 out of 10 or so. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.